Hello and welcome to Stingray Tom's Florida and another Take 5 for Florida History. This is the second video in the series on the history of Orlando's International Drive. I'm here at the Orlando location of Fun Spot America, just off of the northernmost section of the I-Drive area. While it's not directly on I-Drive, several of its rides can be seen from the road, as well as Interstate 4 and even the distant Florida Turnpike. It's a local landmark that's very popular with both tourists and Orlandoans. Based on the idea of a traditional amusement park, Fun Spot America operates 3 parks in Orlando, Kissimmee, and Atlanta, Georgia. This location has 23 rides and 4 multi-level go-kart tracks, as well as an arcade and Midway Games. Like the nearby theme parks, Fun Spot is well known for being family-friendly, clean, well-maintained, and having great employees. Owner and CEO John Arie Jr., a lifelong Orlandoan, was kind enough to speak with me and shared Fun Spot's 25-year history, as well as how he and his family came to be I-Drive area entrepreneurs. It's an interesting story that's related to many other individual stories, that of locals who responded to the arrival of Walt Disney World by creating the International Drive area.
My name's John Arie Jr. I'm the owner and CEO of Fun Spot America. We have 3 locations, one in Orlando, one in Kissimmee, and then our 3rd location is in Atlanta, Georgia. And this all came about, the Fun Spot brand, in 1997 is when we started building this brand. My father is the one that started in Fun and Wheels of 1978, which is the year that I was born. And he owned that park for roughly 10 years, and then he sold to a entrepreneur that was into the dinner shows and stuff of that sort. And then basically at that point he had a 10-year non-compete within the area, so that's what brought on Fun Spot America in 1997. While I was being raised, I was in the industry. My dad bought a couple of parks up in Myrtle Beach and Virginia Beach. And they were go-kart parks with bumper cars and Ferris wheel and arcades and stuff, real similar to what Fun Spot was back in 1997. But then I came on board in 97 with my dad, and we started building the Fun Spot America brand at that point. Matter of fact, it was called Fun Spot Action Park when we first opened. And then after we started building on more locations, we changed the name of it to Fun Spot America. And we started as a small 5-acre park. We only had 4 go-kart tracks and 2 rides open December 24th, Christmas Eve of 1997. We didn't have the cash to open up this building that we're sitting in now, or to finish all the rides throughout the park, so we had to cash flow it. And we got the rest of the park finished, of the 5 acres, in June of 1998. That's when our birthday party actually became June, of the first Saturday of every June. So from that point on, we were sort of opportunists, right? We didn't go out and actively look for big master plans. We always did everything within our ability financial wise. So it wasn't like we had big pockets like some of these bigger parks and we say we're going to build a massive water park and we're going to do this and this is the long-term goals. We did things that was more of here's a used Ferris wheel. And normally it could be $500,000 new, but we'll sell it to you today for $100,000. And we go, well, we'll do our research on it. We'd say that sounds like a good deal, and we'd buy it as an opportunity. So we're opportunists more than we were strategic planners. And so in 2003, we had the opportunity to buy another property in Kissimmee, which is right next to Old Town. And at that time, it was called $1 Million Mulligan, which a lot of people that have been around for a while probably remember $1 Million Mulligan. What you did is you took your tee shot, your golf shot, across the pond over into this little area, and if you hit a hole in one, you had a chance to win $1 million. And so we had the opportunity to buy that property, which we saw was a gold mine, and we did it. So we purchased that in 2003. We started developing it as the cash flow allowed us to. And then in 2017, another opportunity came about in Atlanta where a friend of ours was getting ready to retire. And we said, you know what, we really need to be outside of the Orlando market. If something were to unfortunately bad happened to the Central Florida market, we still need to have something that we can rely on outside. So we went up there and did a bunch of research on it, and it took us a while, but we ended up buying it, and it was a 100-acre parcel. And then since then I've bought another 20 acres just north of it, so there's 120 acres total up there, and we're only using about 30 acres of it now. So the plans up there are really phenomenal when you think about things. They could be huge. That could be our flagship park, and so we're really excited about that park and what it's doing. And matter of fact, last year, 2023, we built the Arie Force One, which is the last name of my family, and it ended up being the golden ticket winner for 2023 for the best new ride in America, or the best new expansion. And we partnered with RMC on that. They were our builders, and it's been a phenomenal hit up there, and it's doing really well, and so excited about that. So there's a lot of good things coming, but the history of Fun Spot is that in a nutshell, and it's truly been a blessing from God to be able to have all this and a platform for us to broadcast his message for us, and what the world is, and how we get that message out there to everybody else. But it's been fun, and we just celebrated our 25th anniversary last year, 2023, and we're excited for another 25 years. And we got some good plans that hopefully, God willing, we can continue to do as cash comes on and we can afford it. Well, the commercials, we've always been pretty good at our marketing, and our commercials developed. So I remember I was working down in the park, and we were shooting a commercial, and we were trying to get the point across of like, hey, this is fun, you gotta be exciting over the camera. I said, let me show you guys what we're looking for, right? So the first commercial started as we pulled into the pits as fast as we could in these go-karts, and the camera would come right up in your face, and they'd say, you wanna go again? And I'd go, like that, and I overexcited, right? And that's how that one came about. And then we said, we were in a marketing meeting, and we said, how in the world are we going to have a 10-year anniversary? What are we going to do that's so special after 10 years that people are going to want to come and see us? And so we started brainstorming as a team, and one thing led to another, and we started out with, well, let's give away free sodas for an entire year. Anybody that wants to come into the park, you get free sodas, right? And I was like, oh, that's pretty big. Okay. Other people in the industry have done it. Holiday World does it all the time. And I was like, okay, that's good. Yeah, let's do that. But let's take it one more step. And my dad goes, well, let's give away a car to one of our guests in the park. I was like, wow. Well, Dad, that's pretty huge. And then we said, well, one more thing though. And my dad goes, let's give away a car to one of our team members too. And I was like, Dad, that's huge. like that. And he goes, there we go. That's our tagline. It's huge. Our 10th anniversary is huge. And we just kept going, huge. And everybody across Central Florida just loved it. They sort of grabbed onto it. So everywhere I go here in Orlando, now everybody knows me as It's Huge guy, which is cool. And it's fun because people realize that, you know, I'm a normal person just like everybody else. I love my team. I love what I do. I love my Central Florida, you know, family, our guests, everybody else. I was born and raised right here in Orlando, and there's not many of us that have been that way. And so it's just, it's been really special. So we've been running It's Huge for 15, 16 years now. And now we only use it for promotions, right? Because we want people to know it's a huge promotion. And but it's good. It's worked, and I'm proud of it. And I appreciate. A lot of people say, "Hey, I don't want to bother you, but can I get a picture with you?" You know, and you can do It's Huge, and I have no problems doing that. I love doing it. It's who I am. It's what I believe our marketing was all about. And you know, so if you see me around town, ask me. I'd love to do it for you, and I'd love to take a picture with you. I used to have people ask me when I was going through town, do you only do commercials for Fun Spot? And I go, no. I own Fun Spot, and my dad got, you know, he got us started, and I bought him out, and this and that, and they would say, oh, I thought you were like one of those car salesmen where it's just an actor that comes in. I go, no, that's our parks. That's where I live. That's where I spend every single day. Yeah. That's another thing too, is I've tried to get my family involved with it. Even my aunts and uncles and my own kids and my own wife, and none of them really like being in front of a camera. And I actually, at first it's a little intimidating, but at the end of the day, you become normal in front of a camera, right? And so it's not like it's a show. You just speak from the heart. Whether you're speaking to a group of people, whether you're speaking to a camera, whatever it is, you speak from the heart, you have fun. That's what our parks are all about.
So.
I love giving back in that way. We give back to the community in many ways. We support a lot of charities. I donate my time through speaking or going to high schools or Rosen Hospitality School, and I think that's probably one of the most rewarding things to me and what I've accomplished in my life is actually going to speak to people that are wanting to be in the same industry or possibly is on the fence on what they want to do. Because at the end of the day, the amusement industry is truly one of the best. The hospitality industry is truly one of the best. And what we do is we create memories that last a lifetime. We've been there for 25 years, and you've got people that have ridden this roller coaster for the very first time at maybe the age of 5, 10, whatever it is. You'll never forget that. Or ride their first go-kart on one of our, you know, multi-level go-kart tracks. You'll never forget that. And you can only do it at Fun Spot America. Where else in Orlando can you ride a wooden roller coaster? Nowhere. We're the only people that have a wooden roller coaster in Orlando. And there's a lot to do here, but we are very, very neat and exclusive when it comes to certain things like our go-kart tracks and our wooden coasters and our sky coasters. 300 foot tall in Kissimmee, that's the world's tallest. You can't do that anywhere else in the world. This one's second tallest to that at 250 feet. So we try to do things within our parks that are very exclusive, that you can't go to somebody else right up the road and maybe play the same video games or ride go-karts or do something else up the road. This is and we're affordable. You know, we make sure that we keep our prices to where a family of 4 can come in here and enjoy it without breaking the bank. And another thing on top of that, Tom, is we've never charged, and we probably will never charge for parking. And on top of that, Tom, is we don't charge for admission. So if grandma and grandpa get the kids for the weekend, they don't want to ride go-karts or rides or anything else, well, they can come in here, buy the kids the passes, and they can hop on their book and read a book or watch the kids smile and take the pictures and everything else. So there's so many unique things at Fun Spot America that nobody else in Orlando does the way we do. And the last and most important thing is our team. Our team is so critical to our success. And I believe they are our number one asset. They're the ones that actually make the dream work. And they buy into, and they see us doing it with them side by side, but they buy into, hey, these guests are somebody that's coming to our house, and we got to treat them like this is our house. This isn't a place of business, but this is somewhere that's special that you know, we don't walk across trash. We pick it up as we walk by, or it's the same exact way you treat your own home, and that's what our team does when they come in to work for the day. It's not rocket science. It's pretty simple, and it's the way everybody wants to be treated. It's like practicing the golden rule.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the Midway Games and stuff of that sort, right? So when you get the reputation of fairs and traveling shows is they'd funnel you in and they'd grab you in by the Midway Games and they'd hawk you and everything else. And one of the things that I've done when we design our parks is I always make sure if there's a corner, a parent can always see their kids as they run by it. We never put Midway Games across from one another because we don't want parents to feel threatened to walk through. They always stay to one side. So there is a science to what we do, and a lot of it is real similar to Walt Disney. You know, we want our guests to come into our park and feel 100% comfortable that their kids are going to be safe here, and we want their parents with them, right? We don't want you dropping off your kids and just letting us be their daycare. But at the end of the day, we want them to feel like, hey, this is a place that is clean, safe, clean, and fun. That's our motto: safe, clean, fun. And so a lot of those things that you mentioned, the cleanliness and all of that, that is 100% on top of our mind all the time. Our local to tourist percentage is about 50-50, believe it or not. And our locals know that, hey, when it's spring break time or it's June and July and it's summertime and the tourism's really busy, you know, around Christmas, stuff of that sort, they know they don't come out to the park. Our season passes will drop. But then when all the tourists are back at home, our locals come out. And thank God for our locals, because they're the ones that really make us in our off season. We used to only be profitable a few months out of the year, and then we would have to cash flow the rest of the year for payroll, because we're a year-round business and we have our team that we would always want to employ 7 days a week. Even though it didn't make sense, we wanted to make sure that they were making a living. So now, since our local base has gotten so good, we make a profit almost 12 months out of the year. And that's something that wasn't that way in 25 years ago. And so our local base and our season pass holders, they mean the world to us. As a matter of fact, we just introduced annual pass luncheons and stuff of that sort. We did one here in November. We just did one a couple weeks ago in Kissimmee, and we've got another one coming on board in May for Atlanta. So we're going to continue to do that just to show our appreciation. Where we did give out some prizes to them. We cook them a barbecue. We do stuff of that sort. We have a DJ or a band that shows up for the day, and it's just a way to say thank you to them because they've been so good to us.
It's terrific. We don't get that many international visitors, and we don't track that number very well. That's more of if I were to track my website data a little bit more, I'd probably have a better accurate number on that, but we're basically a domestic park. When the travelers come from overseas, they do see us because they typically will stay 2 or 3 weeks, and they'll spend a day or two here. And once they discover us, a lot of times they'll buy a season pass and they come back multiple times within that few weeks, which is amazing to me because we obviously did something right. But we don't market to international. We used to. Years ago, we used to fly overseas and do trade shows and stuff of that sort. We've stepped away from that, and we let Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld do that external marketing, get them into town, and then we just try to get a half a day or a day out of them while they're here. Yeah. Not going to be the reason. Fun Spot's not going to be the reason they fly overseas. Yeah. Disney or Universal or SeaWorld might be, and then they see us and they're like, "Whoa!" And they go home, and we get a lot of reviews where they do go home and they're like, "If you go to Orlando, hit the big parks, but don't forget about Fun Spot America. It's really close to them, and that's a really good family-owned park."
Yeah, we know we're not here competing with the big three. We compliment them, right? So, and on days that maybe it's going to rain or something that they don't want to spend their high dollar ticket at one of the big parks, a lot of times we'll be busier, you know. And so we're the best word for it is we compliment the big parks. We don't compete with them, we compliment them. Yep, that's not uncommon. What we'll do is we'll wait for the opportunity again where they might bring a ride from overseas or from West Coast or something, and they don't want to ship that ride back home. So they will actually discount that ride almost enough to where they just pay for their build price on it, and we can pick it up because it's 5 miles up the road is a convention center where the show is. So there's been a dozen times where we picked up rides at a show and brought it into our park, or even did a partnership with them where they said, hey, we need this ride to be out and get some rides on it and tell us, you know, how that ride operates in a real park atmosphere. And so we'll put the ride in our park and give them our feedback, and maybe a few months later they take it home, maybe a few months later we buy it. You know, so there's definitely a cooperation and a partnership when it comes to the manufacturers and the operators. We got into the virtual reality world a little bit, and we realized that it's a lot harder to operate than it looks. And when I say that, I mean like from a sanitary level to equipment breaking, stuff of that sort, maintenance. So we stepped away from it. Arcade games, stuff of that sort, that's a lot easier to maintain and operate. But from a larger level, we were one of the first in the world to do our Freedom Flyer, our Vekoma coaster out there. And we ran it for, I think, almost 2 years, and then we just ended up we just kept putting money into it, and we found out from surveys through our guests that that's not the reason they're riding it. They're riding it for the thrill. They're riding it for the fun aspect, you know, and then to put on a set of goggles while you're riding it sort of took away from all that. So we never had any return riders for the VR. They would try it one time, and then that was it. So we did away with that, but you never know what the future holds. I mean, a lot of things are going the VR way, and that might be the way that we have to go one day. I just, you know, after 25 years of being in this industry and building the Fun Spot America brand, any and everybody that's ever come to our properties, thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And I just hope and pray for another 25 more years, and that we continue to build on our brand, and that you all believe in us and bring your families out. Let them bring their families out when they get older, and we're here for you. We want to serve you, and give us an opportunity when you come here to Orlando. Thank you.
Fun Spot is a fascinating example of an iDrive success story. It's a family-owned business that offers a fairly low-tech and traditional form of entertainment. As such, it's found its niche in pleasing tourists on their off days and evenings, and locals pretty much any time of the year. Fun Spot America may be a little park, but its impact on iDrive,
And it's huge!
Thank you for watching another of my videos. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to learn more about Florida's tourism history. Stingray Tom's Florida, traveling through time around the Sunshine State.